Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to study about how microorganisms themselves can be used as a product. Okay, for human consumption, microorganisms themselves, how they can be used as a product for human consumption. So let us discuss, and one of the product is single cell protein. So let us discuss about single cell protein. Now, single cell protein, in short called as SCP, it is the name given to a variety of microbial products, that is protein extracts or protein concentrates that are produced by fermentation. So what is single cell protein? It is the name given to the microbial products which are protein in nature and that are produced by fermentation technology. So single cell protein or SCP are dried cells of microorganisms which can be used as dietary protein supplements both for human consumption as well as in animal feed. When produced properly, these materials make satisfactory proteinaceous ingredients for human food and animal feed. Now, how it is produced, how the protein product or how microbes are grown. They are generally grown on waste products. So the production of protein, okay, it was first produced by British corporation. The production of protein using hydrocarbon waste of petroleum industry is widely practiced nowadays, right? All the type of organisms like algae, yeast, molds, bacteria. Okay, so algae, fungi, and bacteria are grown on hydrocarbon waste and cells are harvested as a source of protein. So the bacteria, algae, fungi, all of them can serve as a source of protein. Now, we all know that life is dependent upon life, and hence microbiologists have diverted their attention to use microbial protein. Originally, single cell protein were called as microbial protein, but the name single cell protein was given by Sir Carol Wilson, right? Now, microbiologists have diverted their attention towards the use of microbial protein in diet. Why? Okay. Now, biomass production has also played an important role to satisfy the ever increasing demand of world food requirement. As the population grows, day by day, as the population grows, the world food requirement also increases. And hence, to satisfy the ever increasing food demand, microbiologists thought of exploiting microorganism to meet the world's protein demand. Why microorganisms were especially chosen for this purpose? Because microorganisms have a very short generation time, maybe minimum like equal at 20 minutes or any like 20 minutes to 120 minutes. Microbes can synthesize proteins much faster than higher living organisms like plants and animals. Okay, so they have a short generation time, they grow very fast, they are rapidly multiplying, and proteins in a much higher concentration also. Microbes can grow on cheap carbon and nitrogen source. They can grow on waste material also. They have high protein content, like 7 to 12 gram of protein nitrogen per 100 gram of dry weight of microbes. Okay, so the protein content is high. They can grow on cheaply available media. Their generation time is short. Produce protein in higher concentration, and hence microbes were chosen. Okay, for single cell protein production. Originally, the protein product obtained from microbes was named as microbial protein, but then the name was changed. Okay. The single cell protein term was coined by MIT professor Sir Carol L. Wilson in the year 1966 to represent the cells of algae, fungi, bacteria grown for their protein content. So the name single cell protein was given by Sir C.L. Wilson. Right. For what? The single cell protein for what? Where algae, fungi, bacteria were grown for their protein content as a source of protein. Now the precise definition of single cell protein is microorganisms cultivated on industrial waste or byproducts or nutrients to yield a large crop. See, large crop of microbes is called as biomass. To yield a large crop which is rich in protein. The organisms that we mentioned like algae, fungi, bacteria are easily grown on such sources like industrial waste or byproducts or even on nutrients, and the cells can be harvested as a source of protein. Okay, Now, microorganisms as single cell protein have both advantages and disadvantages for animal and human consumption. Let us discuss one by one the different types of microbes that can be used as single cell protein. Number one, bacteria. The major group and some species of bacteria that can be used for single cell protein production are: number one, hydrogen utilizing bacteria like Pseudomonas facilis, Pseudomonas saccharophila, Pseudomonas flava, Alcaligens eutrophus, Alcaligens paradoxus. Okay, these are the hydrogen utilizing bacteria which can grow on a hydrogen source like hydrocarbon and produce single cell protein. Methane or methanol utilizing bacteria. For example, methane using bacteria like Pseudomonas methanica, Methanomonas methanica, Methanomonas methanooxidans, Methylococcus capsulatus. Okay. Methanol utilizing bacteria like Methylomonas methylovora, Methylomonas clara, Methylomonas methanolica, Methylophilus methylotrophus, Xanthomonas species, and others. So these are the hydrogen utilizing bacteria, methane and methanol using bacteria. Now, N-paraffin utilizing bacteria, again hydrocarbon waste utilizing bacteria, Brevibacterium insectivillum, ATCC 15528. Okay, Corynebacterium species, Corynebacterium porometabolum like ATCC 15530, Pseudomonas ligustri. Okay, Pseudomonas orvila ATCC 15524, Alcaligen species ATCC 15525. What is ATCC? It is a culture collection center, American type culture collection center. And this is the number given is the number for the strain of that organism, that particular organism, right? So these are all the N-paraffin or hydrocarbon waste utilizing bacteria. Now, hydrocarbon utilizing bacteria. There are also photosynthetic bacteria which may also serve as a source of feed for livestock, animals, and aquaculture system, right? So photosynthetic bacteria can also be grown on waste material or on industrial byproducts and can serve as a source of feed for livestock and aquaculture systems. Photosynthetic bacteria can be cultivated in extracts of crude carbohydrate prepared from wheat bran, rice bran, banana, potato starch waste, etc. Photosynthetic bacteria can directly utilize CO2 as a carbon source also. Now, what are the advantages of using bacteria as a source of single cell protein? Number one, bacterial cell is rich in protein, 60 to 80%, okay, as compared to other microbes. Right. Then bacteria have a very low generation time. These are the two major advantages, that it is rich in protein as compared to other organisms and they have a low generation time. But in spite of these two important advantages, the main disadvantage of using bacteria as a source of protein are: generally people think that bacteria are disease producing and they are harmful. So generally public do not accept it as a source of food, okay, that they can consume a bacteria. So that is a major constraint, that acceptability in public is not much with bacteria. Okay, and then bacterial cells at the same time have high nucleic acid content, and if bacterial proteins are consumed, it may increase uric acid level in the blood, leading to poisoning or gout in human beings, right? But this problem can be taken care of, right? So the major disadvantage is acceptability among public. Then bacterial cells have high nucleic acid content which can increase uric acid level in the blood, so this needs to be taken care of. Then harvesting of bacterial cell becomes difficult and costly because they are very small in size and they have a lower density. So the low density and small size of bacteria makes the harvesting of bacterial cells not only difficult but a costly item. So if these things are taken care of, bacterial cell will serve as a good source of protein. Okay, the next class of microorganism is yeast, right? That we are going to discuss in the next presentation.